Welcome back. Welcome back. WNYWaterCooler.com podcast. Subscribe to us. YouTube, we're on iTunes. I think we're on everything. Spotify. Well, Stephen Coast here.
Steve, what's up, man?
Another week, another win. We're doing this Saturday morning or afternoon. I don't know. Probably won't have anyone listening, but when
Yeah,
we play the
right.
Lions, it seems like that was a long ass time ago.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
do.
so
Another.
we're killing them, and then like the end of the third quarter, they start getting garbage touchdowns. And
Yeah, so I came sit down. I've come full circle on not full circle, but I'm soul searching with respect to this defense because I really felt like they were terrible. I mean, obviously they were terrible against the Rams. Then we turn around and allow 42 points to the Lions, but the Lions' first seven drives, two touchdowns, a fumble, a missed field goal, and three punts. So I really, I don't know if it was as bad as the final point total indicates. It was 35-14 with like 3 minutes left in the third. And then that's when the Lions just started scoring like super quick. And so I don't know. I mean, I think I'm having a tough time squaring it all, but I think the defense was bad, but maybe not as bad as 42 points indicates. I mean, the game, and we were scoring so fast that our defense was probably gassed at the fourth quarter.
I feel like we've played like two of the best receivers. I mean, they're both probably top 10. But I mean, maybe I don't know. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the dude's nasty.
Yeah. And there were a couple of plays that really had a pretty big impact on like the Amon
Allen
Ra
in just intentionally grounding it and like laughing about it. Yeah.
Allen attention. I don't I don't remember that one, but the well Goff, the Lions had a 3rd and 11. I think it was on their first touchdown drive, and Goff ran for it. I mean, that's got to be the first time that's happened in his career. And then
Yeah, his rushing over under total is like 4. So
yeah, and then the St. Brown touchdown. It was a 3rd and 17, and Bernard like tips it, and two guys are there. I thought it was going to be intercepted,
yeah, I thought
and
that was gonna be
somehow
intercepted too.
so those two plays go a different way. The game ends up being like 48-20. I mean, it was I don't know, but then you got the insane onside kick. That was, I guess I get the argument, but I also just don't.
Well, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it every time. If you're playing the percentages,
Yeah.
I mean, every time it's 7% or whatever, but I don't know. You do it and then you don't, and then you do again. And Campbell. I mean, the guy. He's proven me wrong time and time again. But as a leader of men, people disregard that. I mean, clearly that is something. If you have like some talent and just you back up what you're saying, which he does. I mean, his players must love him.
Dude, I think being a leader of men, like the stat nerds will laugh at that. I think it's like 85% of being a good head coach. Like you have to be able to manage a bunch of rich young personalities. Like I don't know, it's a very important factor. I mean, the stat nerds are like, oh, Ben Johnson, he's going to be like an elite head coach. Is he? Like maybe, but he's also what 30 some guy in his young 30. Like I don't. It's just it is disregarded, but I think McDermott has this skill as well. So, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, he's a
Campbell.
corny dude. He's a corny dude, but I think people kind of respect like he's buttoned up and he protects the players, I think. Like, because there's never really leaks. There's never really
No, no,
like
I think the players
problems.
do respect him.
I think that's a lot of it. Like,
So
I wonder about like the Dolphins, like McDaniel. Like he's kind of a clown, I think. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe they love him, but
they might love him in like he's my boy type of way, but do they respect him as a
like
leader?
the
Maybe, maybe
boss.
not. I don't know. But like, I mean, the Lions guys clearly, do with Campbell, and I think McDermott. I mean, look at like John Harbaugh. I mean, he was a special teams coach. Look at Mike Tomlin too. Like, what was he when he became? The stat nerds also love to make fun of Mike Tomlin, who's one of the
Just
best
never
coaches of this
loses.
millennium. Yeah, I mean, how can you make fun of a guy that's literally never had a losing record? That to me is like has been always been like perplexing.
And it's not
But
like he early in his career he had a great quarterback, but since then he is not even
no,
close.
he won 10 games with or maybe 10, 9, 10. I mean, a winning record with Duck Hodges. Remember that? Like, how
Yeah.
can you make fun of that guy? Yeah, he punts maybe when the stats say he shouldn't, but like, there's just way more to it than that.
There's definitely more to it than just punting on 4th and 2. I mean, that's the difference between maybe getting to Super Bowls and stuff, obviously, but just throughout a regular
Could be.
season, I mean, a regular season winning games, there's lots of teams and programs, franchises that don't win. Uh,
Yeah.
so,
And
mm.
there's been so many hot new coordinators that have just like not worked. I mean, I'm sure there's been a lot of like culture guys or whatever you want to call it too that haven't worked, but there's just a lot that goes into it. And I don't know. I mean, I got to hand it to the Lions. They could have rolled over non-conference game. We were up 21, and that offense was just. I mean, they had 4 touchdown drives in a row that were all like 3 minutes or less, and then until their last drive when they were just like killing clock. I don't know what was going on there.
But I mean, Campbell definitely put the timeouts. He left 40 seconds run down.
Yeah, he should have called one after we got stopped on third down with like 2:45 left or whatever it was. But he knew, just like we did last week against the Rams, that if you don't have 3 timeouts, you're screwed. So he tried to keep them, but he could have called the one at 2:40, and then you have 40 extra seconds for the 2-minute warning. I don't know. It's I don't I he should have called one there probably. But if you burn a timeout inside 2 minutes, then you're depending on the onside kick, which they almost recovered, but there was only 12 seconds left. So, but it was a
Another
crazy
win.
game. Crazy
Yeah.
2 games.
And then we have the Patriots coming to town.
Yeah.
Spread's 14, total 46, 46 and a half. Supposed to be cold, but not really
30,
windy.
30 to 17 ish. Yeah, I was
Move.
looking at Drake May. I mean, he played in North Carolina. He's from there. ACC. This will be probably the coldest weather he's ever played football in, right?
He said earlier this week, I think I played in one game when it was in the teens. Like,
I think.
yeah. So if you don't remember, I mean, when you're 19, 20, it's a little different than, I guess he's still probably that same age, but
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's he's the exact like the prototype of the type of quarterback that McDermott just has his way with.
and I
Probably
think
not the most.
the Patriots are just like so poorly coached. From what I mean, I don't watch them play really ever, but from what I see on Twitter, everyone hates Mayo. They have a lot of injuries. They have one good player, their cornerback, that I think he's only played against us once. I think he was hurt the
Fishing
second
with
game last year, but
and
Gonzalez,
their D lineman Barmore's shut down.
yeah, he's
So
done again.
yeah, talent at the skill position players. I mean, they got Stevenson, but their receivers are just a bunch of guys. I don't know. Like what are they 3-11
Yeah,
or how many games have we played? What's our yeah 11-3. Yeah, I mean it's a tough spot for New England. I mean, what they could hope for is letdown, although we know it's at stake, I think. I mean, especially if Houston wins today, there I wouldn't expect there to be any type of letdown. And also that how how will the Bills play it? Will they kind of keep things close to the vest a little bit? I could see like our first game scoring under 30 Sunday just because we sort of don't let Allen run, do stuff like that. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, they need the game, but like, what are we gonna show? I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's kind of like the Patriots. They seem to play us tough, like, but I don't know. They might
That was
just not
with
have the
Belichick.
talent.
Yeah, that was with Belichick too. And um,
Yeah, I feel like there's no shine on this team anymore.
yeah, there's not. As soon as Belichick left it, I still had fear of them. Like even last season, just because of the Obviously, the 20 years with Brady and
Well, it's
Belichick
trauma.
being
I
there.
mean, it was a traumatic 20 years for us.
Yeah, it was
Just
a
even
lot of
seeing
trauma.
that helmet tomorrow is gonna make me like sick.
And then but we're wearing like Patriot throwback colors, which is kind of fun.
Are we doing that like ironically or something? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's just coincidence. Because didn't they wear this combo? I thought I saw
I
something
don't think we've
about.
ever worn the white pants with the red jersey.
I think like maybe at the practice at the stadium with fans, we might have wore the red shirt, white helmet, or Allen might have. And he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
maybe.
like this combo." He said he was like mic'd up. So I don't know. I'm sure it's just coincidental, or maybe they're trolling them. I don't know. But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, you hear a lot of good things about May, but I feel like Pat's media and fans said the same things about
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see. I mean, they had success with Mac Jones' first year, but anyone that was watching the games, he just seemed like a game manager and just like they still had a really good defense and
Yeah,
they didn't fuck up because they had one of the best coaches ever.
we said that at the time. I can check back our podcast. I feel like we said Mac Jones' stealing was Chad Pennington, and he obviously isn't going to hit that. But yeah, Mac Jones was getting like way too much hype that rookie season. In May, I don't know. I mean, May.
He's
The
flown
thing
under the
about
radar
May,
because the record's terrible, team's
true.
terrible, but
And I heard this week, I forget where I heard it, but there's some Allen comps because of his running ability or whatever. And someone said that he was starting at like a higher point than Allen was. People need to go rewatch some of Allen's rookie year film because there was a lot of flashes as a rookie, and we won. Allen was 5-6 that year with the talent that we had. So I think there's a little bit of discounting of like how good he was. Like, I mean, what he did as a rookie. So I don't know. Just
yeah, he
it's
had
kind of
highlight plays, and I haven't seen too many highlight plays from Drake May. I mean, I've seen him
yeah.
throw a pass or two, but they don't run him. I question if he's as athletic as Allen, but I don't
He's
see him.
smaller,
Yeah, he's still pretty good
but
size, but
yeah, I mean
that's
he
like the
might be
only
really
thing that
good.
yeah he could be. But I don't trust that franchise now to build around him. They're gonna. I mean, are
Yeah,
they really gonna
true.
fire Mayo after saying like, "Oh, we picked him a long time ago to be the successor"? Like, are you really gonna quit after 1 year?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they have no weapons. I don't know. But
Yeah,
they
I
moved
don't
this
know
game to
who.
friggin' 425.
Yeah,
It's
inexplicable. What game did they move out?
I don't think they really did. I think they just had such terrible games at 4 o'clock because all the good games are today on Saturday.
Yeah,
I mean, all the prime time games I think are pretty good. So, and there's just garbage on Sunday afternoon.
yeah. Tomorrow's slate isn't great. I'm trying to think of what. I don't even know what the best game is tomorrow. But yeah, I was surprised to see that it was Flex. Our buddy was telling us the game was Flex, and we were just like making fun of him, and then it actually was.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just not a
yeah,
game that I would have expected.
yeah. So tickets go down by like $50. No one wants to go. It's going to be even colder and darker now. Who
What are
cares about
they?
the fans? Who cares about the fucking fans? So
What are they? What are they going for now?
before fees, like the cheapest is $90.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cheap. It's like 350 a couple weeks ago. But that's the
Yeah,
risk you run in these December late season games here. Like it's especially if the game was at 1 o'clock, there'd be more demand to go. I'm sure.
yeah. So with this playoff, I mean, we'll know more after the game, after today, because we don't know what the Chiefs' result will be. But so the Chiefs, the team just never loses. It's like Rasputin. You can't kill this team. And like we said earlier, before we started, Mahomes with his bullshit injuries. I mean, he's faking injuries, or it's overhyped at how hurt he is.
It's definitely overhyped, 100%. Thank you. Yeah, you too. Yeah, he did the same thing happened in the playoffs like a couple years ago. he has a high ankle sprain. I think he hurt it against was it Jacksonville or maybe Cleveland? I forget. And then he plays in the AFC title game against Cincy, and he's like scrambling for first downs. I'm like, this guy had a high ankle sprain like a week ago. Like, give me a break. It's just the whole Mahomes is so unlikable. Like, it's crazy. I mean, obviously we're biased as Bills fans, but the way he just carries himself and the obviously when he had that meltdown in the Bills game last year, and really the way the media talks about him and how there's like this blood pact that like you're not allowed to criticize him. Like no one can criticize him. It's like against the law in the media. Like the FCC, you're gonna get like a friggin' citation if you say he's not the
Ooh,
best quarterback
citation.
of all time. It's just it's ridiculous. Like he has not been playing great for 2 seasons. Like why can't people just admit that? Like yeah, he's still good, obviously, and they won the Super Bowl, but that was a lot to do with the defense and the kicker and a lot of luck. And he just didn't have a great year last year. And their offense didn't have a great year last year. And their offense isn't having a great year this year. He's not having a great year this year. They lost Tyreek Hill there, a couple of years ago. They're Kelsey's 36. Like he's not the same guy.
Well, it's
Having the
just a
greatest player
combination
of
of a
all
lot of
time.
stuff. I don't know how unlikable he is. I
Yeah.
mean, he's had a few moments where he was really unlikable, but I mean,
Yeah.
Allen, he has things that people don't like about him. He seems to whine about hits a lot, but I mean,
All
then you have the
quarterbacks
Taylor
do that
Swift
though.
shit and the Chiefs never lose. It's all just a
Yeah.
combination of stuff. They just are always seem like they're always at home. They're always on TV. Every game goes their way. Like literally every game, except we beat them. We beat them in the regular season, and that's about it.
Yeah. But the games they beat us in the playoffs were just, I mean, they're coin flip games. But
Yeah,
but
and we
you're
don't
right.
win the coin flip, but
We don't win the coin flip. The game, but we handled them in the regular season this year, I feel like, and for the most part. And but you're right, the Taylor Swift stuff, like it's just and I guess the unlikability, I think the hissy fit he threw really changed a lot for me. It's like, dude, have some, self whatever
awareness.
awareness of like all the breaks you've gotten
Yeah.
over your career in big games and like it's just we've I don't know. So, but tough game today. I mean, that defense, Houston's got one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, everyone's down on Houston. Um, and but you look what they've done against a lot of good offenses this year, including ours. They can rush the passer. They're great against the pass. The Chiefs' offensive line is like a disaster, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
so I guess the only negative is that um they kind of I don't know how much they need the game because they already clinched their division, but I don't know. I think they're going to want to come out and win this game, like prove it to themselves that they can do it. And
Yeah, and then
I
they play
had
the Steelers on Christmas and then they have Denver or or do they have the Chargers? They have Denver the last game.
Denver last game, which now Denver is
Either way,
definitely
Denver's definitely going to need that game
now for sure.
unless
Yeah,
unless
well, if they
Cincy
beat
loses.
Cincy. Well, I think if Denver beats Cincy next week,
Oh,
yeah, if
it's
Cincy
over.
loses, well, if Cincy loses, Denver still has to worry about Miami and Indy still. So it depends what happens with those teams. Like if
Ooh,
Denver is going to
Miami.
clinch, yeah. Well, if Miami wins the next two and Denver loses one, like if Denver loses to Cincy and Miami wins the next two, and I mean there's a lot that can still happen, but Denver needs Cincy to lose, all those teams to lose, Indy, Miami, and Cincy, and they have to beat Cincy, I think, to clinch before the KC game. So it's pretty likely Denver's going to need it, and it's in Denver, and it's I don't know. It's not going to be a guaranteed win for Kansas City if they're still playing for it. None of the games are. I mean, we could be the one seed. We could be tied in losses with KC in 4 days, 5 days, like realistically.
Well, yeah, still a lot to be. And I mean, you're scared to death of the Bengals sneaking in and being the
Terrified.
7 seed. I mean, I don't want to see T. Higgins and Chase either, Jamar Chase, but
Nah,
it's
the
it's
Bengals.
It's unlikely that they get in, so
It's
highly unlikely.
unlikely, but it's not it's definitely possible. I mean, and if they win out, well, Denver would have to lose both games. I mean, KC could have the one seed locked up, and I think they would gladly let Denver beat them to keep Cincy out of the playoffs. Like it's KC doesn't want to see Cincinnati either. And if Cincy gets in at the one seed, then or yeah, if Cincy gets in as the one seed, then they're one upset away from having to face Cincy in round two. And I feel like Cincy KC fans may say Cincy's the number one team they don't want to face, even over the Bills. KC fans probably feel like they own the Bills, even though we beat them reg- regularly. But that's just like how they feel. I feel like so.
And the Bengals defense is bad, but I feel like somehow they could just turn it on. I don't
Yeah,
want to face them either, but I'm not. I don't see them getting in. But I guess
yeah,
Bo
they need a lot.
Nix. I don't know. Bo Nix is
They need a lot to have. Yeah, I think you're as a Bills fan, number one, you'd want to play Richardson. Number two, you'd probably want to play Knicks. Number three, probably Tua. Although Miami's no, they it's tough playing a division when you play a divisional team so often, like weird stuff can happen. I don't know.
Tua in the cold. I'd take that all day.
Hmm. No, I'd rather play all those teams over Cincy. Cincy's they got one of the best offenses in the league. And Burrow and those receivers are like the type of offense that just would eat us alive. Like they'd be finding holes in the zone and just absolutely like owning us. I mean, they're a better version of the Rams. So I don't know. But Cincy might also just kind of stink. I mean, they needed that weird punt disaster to beat Dallas. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, that play. I kind of forgot the rule on that. Yeah, that's very strange. This dickhead fumbles it. Jesus.
They
Yeah, I mean
block
that.
it, but it ended up past the first down. Or no, they block it, but then the guy touches it, so it's a change of possession. And I mean, they just
Yeah,
gave the game away right there. It's just so I don't know. But
and yet,
unless
yeah,
our
yet
front
they're in position to lose to Cooper Rush and friggin'
yeah.
Gomer Jr.
And they gave up a lot of points to Tennessee last week. Like that team is terrible. So
Yeah,
I don't
they're
know. They're
down
deep.
early in that game. I mean, they ended up pulling away, but yeah, they're down early. Burrow had two picks. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that maybe the difference this year compared to prior years is, I mean, they got Higgins and Chase who are incredible, but they don't have really anybody else on offense.
Yeah, they
So
have
I
that
guess
old tight end they like, but
Chase Brown, I guess decent fantasy running back, but I don't know. They don't have like I feel like Mixon kind of owned us too, and their defense was a lot
he even owned
better.
us
They
with
don't.
Houston, didn't he? Didn't he have a good game against us
He didn't play. He didn't
oh
play.
yeah.
It was Agu Bawali or whatever
Oh yeah, and
that
that
was
guy
owning us.
had a forget. Yeah, he had like a bunch of catches.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Cincy is definitely the team we want to avoid. I mean, well, we'll see what happens. There's so much that can happen between now and then.
Well, Patriots, I just kind of want to smash them, get up by like 28-3, and just take everyone out. Just
Yeah, I don't want a stressful game at all. Like these last couple of weeks have been. I mean, even the game before that was Case or no, San Fran was a pretty stress free run, but yeah, nice comfortable win. I feel like we haven't had an easy opponent in so long. When was our last Tennessee? Maybe our last like easy opponent.
yeah. Well, and I mean, I know that the Patriots are shelling themselves, but I feel like they'll they'll cheap shot us or some grimy shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't
they
trust.
just
They're
lack.
like the Jets.
They're like the Jets, but they're I don't know. I mean, the Patriots are what bottom two or three in the league, both points for and points against, or something
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
bad. I mean, they are bad up and
Yeah,
down.
like the Jets' offense is actually like a top half of the league unit. So they,
Mhm.
the Patriots have zero talent. So is Drake May gonna like out Superman the Bills' entire team?
Oh,
I don't
Joshy.
know. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I mean, 14 and a half. It's a lot of points, but I'd probably give it to the 30-17 is what they're projecting basically.
Yeah. Well, what's your prediction here? We'll wrap this up.
All right. I mean, May's going to throw like 3 picks in this game, and I think we're going to win. I think it's just going to be like 30-10.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if the Patriots score more than 10 points. I mean, I know the defense is playing pretty bad, but I don't see any weapons that are going to run through our secondary, which is, I mean, possible, but we are more healthy than we've been the last couple of weeks too, which can't be
Yeah.
discounted. So, yeah, I'll say probably, I'll say like 29-9.
Yeah, I mean the McDermott scheme confuses young quarterbacks generally. Like in
Yeah.
May, he might run around a lot. I don't know. I mean, we've done well generally against running quarterbacks too, so it's a
Yeah.
good recipe for the Bills D to get back on track, I think. But
Well,
anyways, all right.
we'll see at the lots at what, noon?
Yeah, Merry Christmas to
Yeah.
all our loyal listeners.
Happy holidays, guys.
All right, man. Later.
Bye.